Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the 7 Minute Spotlight, where we're taking a look at stories, ideas, and concepts for inspiration and encouragement. And some of the best ways to tell a story people have found is through music, through a song. And there was a song that came out in the 80s by a band from the state of Alabama, and that was the name, Alabama. I'm in a hurry and don't know why. Basically, it starts out, I'm in a hurry to get things done. I rush and rush until life's no fun. All I've got to do is live and die, but I'm in a hurry and don't know why. And ain't that the truth? Because let's take a look at history. If we count for what I accept as being man's time here on earth, going back to the time of creation of the Garden of Eden, up until the time of the birth of Jesus Christ is about 4,000 years. And then we've got another, say, 2,000 years up to where we are today. And from those very first days, our communication was either verbal or we learned languages and we learned how to write. And some people were able to read and write. By and large, most people did not. One of the jobs, I guess that's what you have to call it, a profession, was that of a scribe. And the scribe's duties were very important. Your old ancient languages, such as Aramaic, Hebrew, Greek, are very intricate in that you could have the shape of a letter. And if there's a mark on it that goes this way instead of this way, and you did it wrong, you actually changed the meaning of the word. So the scribes had to be painstakingly accurate in their transcription, that's where the word comes from, of writing these down, because the parchments would fade out and they wanted them to be able to last for a long time. Interestingly enough, the scribes, because they kept writing the same things over and over and over again, became experts. Some people say that that's really some of the first signs of what we had of people that would perform as a function as, say, a lawyer. But anyway, as that progressed, and say from the minus 4,000 up until around 1450, you're looking at 5,500 years of where people didn't have easy access and to writing, to education, or anything. And then Gutenberg invented the printing press in around 1450, maybe a little bit before that. And then we ended up with newspapers, books, Bibles, things that were transcribed. We could make multiple copies. And just look at, for 5,500 years, we didn't have it. Then all of a sudden we do. But then look at the next change from 1450 to about, say, 1850, only 400 years, give or take a few. We ended up with the old typewriters, the manual ones that had the keys and they had the arm that would go back and forth against the paper, and you had to change the ribbon and the ink and everything. And from 5,500 years, the next advancement on that type of technology was 400 years. And then the electric typewriter came out in the 1950s. So you're looking at only about 100 years. So you see the progression. It goes long, it goes up and goes up. From the 1950s to, I remember, 1985, we got our first word processor. You're able to save documents. You could use templates. You could have a stored document that you could just fill in names, use those for invoices, for contracts, any number of things. And now today, and this has been this way for a while, we can have business associates on the other side of the world send an email in a matter of a couple seconds, and we actually have a Zoom meeting. Many of you that are watching this now are in different parts of the United States, maybe even different parts of the world, and we have this technology that makes it available almost instantly. Well, what does that have to do with everything? We are so used to this speeding up of our lives that I don't think we know how to slow down. I know in my case, it seems like I'm always rushing from one project to another, still enjoying the things that I do. But at some point, don't we have to ask the question, do I need to do this? Back in 2006, so that's 20 years ago, Mary and I saw Rick Warren speak at an event. He said, "We are human beings, not human doings." But I think our brain has gotten so wired that we want things to be quick. We want it to be convenient. That's a really big deal. And it's good to have a convenient life. It's nice to be able to have a car and not a horse or having to walk. And it's nice to have hot water and electric heat and all the things that we have for conveniences today. So I'm not knocking that by any stretch. But at the same time, we will pay a little bit extra at a convenience store for something that we could buy at the grocery store because we want the convenience of walking in and getting it real quick as opposed to going way to the back of, say, a grocery store. And so we're in a hurry and we don't know how to slow down and we don't know how to react, to relax rather. And then what happens? We look for more, we look for ways to stay occupied. And then if we're sitting still, we don't know what to do with ourselves. I will admit it's a challenge for me. I need to be reading. I need to be maybe even just playing some type of mindless computer game that keeps my mind active. Other interests might be having conversations with other people, working on projects that I have at work. But what happens if we just sit and do nothing for 60 seconds, maybe for 5 minutes? I know one thing that I do enjoy when I'm driving, going somewhere where it might be an hour-long trip or maybe even a 4-hour trip. It's nice to have that time where I don't have the radio on. I'm not able to do any work as far as, can't read text messages, do emails or anything like that while you're driving. And that is one of the places where I get a chance to slow down. So I think the challenge is let's take a look at ourselves. Are we in a hurry and don't know why? And let's figure out the why, but more importantly, let's figure out the what, and the what being how important it is for us to take a break, how important it is for us to have some rest, how important it is for us with that break and rest to be restored. God intended for us to be, not just to do. So think about that. We'd love to hear your ideas and thoughts. We always provide our contact information. God bless you all. I hope you have a great week and a great month. Take care. We'll see you on the next one.